welcome back again. So I think this is the sixth video, not sure. Didn't know how this is going to go, but I'm quite enjoying it at the moment. So ultimately, if you watched the last video, you would have seen my weekend at Santa Pod that went to plan, didn't go to plan, and drove back in the garage with a broken gearbox. So posted a few bits on Facebook already, so if you have seen that, pretend you haven't, and watch along the video. I'm going to show you what I find, what I think the issue is, and ultimately how I'm going to fix it. And yeah, get yourself a cup of tea, some biscuits, and whoosh along, mate. Oh, sound. Do it down a little bit. First thing, I'm going to take the exhaust off and take the filter out and see. Just have a look, see what the crack is in there, if there's anything in there. And then to take the oil out, the subframe is quite close to the oil drain, and it's a bit of a fiddly bit to get it out, so I'm probably going to just drop the subframe anyway, the front subframe, and then make it a lot easier to drain the oil. The box is going to have to come out anyway, I think, like, so yeah, let's go. Ooh. So filters out. Just bring this down a little bit. It looks a bit grey. Yeah, I mean, considering it's supposed to be white, how it's grey, I don't really know. Well, not grey, you know what I'm saying, grey. I'm going to scoot down a little bit. I did see, oh yeah, you ain't going to be able to see this, but I'll see if I can spin that round. Yeah, I'll put that. Can anyone? Don't think you can see. The camera's not quite good enough. Yeah, there's one. It's quite a big. You can there. You can just about see all the little sprinkles in there. Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. You can see the sprinkles now. So, yeah. Obviously, that doesn't mean that we're absolutely dead cert, but it's not good. So yes, I'm going to carry on now, stripping the subframe out, and I'll drain the oil. Where's the torch? I don't know if you can see in there, but it's a bit sparkly. Yeah, she is. Well, something's been having a party in there. Oh dear. Well, that was fun. Can confirm that the 95 kilo DSG gearbox is 95 kilos. Luckily I've got the stool that I can bump it up onto, and yeah, let's get stripping.
I kinda feel a little younger. Run away and embrace the day. The sun is out, won't go away. Feel the clouds.
So that's everything all stripped and laid out on the bench. It's quite a lot of metal, shall we say. There's a lot going on. So you've got two main shafts, a reverse shaft, and then your input shaft along with the diff. So back in the garage, and I haven't done a lot of filming, if I'm honest, regarding the old DSG, mainly because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. Pretty simple, and the content that I could obviously give isn't probably great. I watched some of the YouTubers, and obviously it's brilliant. They're flying out with all the different bits and bobs. I did film quite a bit of getting the car stripped and all that sort of stuff, but mainly all you could see was my back. Getting it round quickly now. Current scenario, obviously, fell off. Boxes all out, etc., etc. So yeah, it's all much of a muchness. So up to this point now, I think you've seen the videos where I've been stripping the box down and had it all apart. What I did do was break one of the race bearings on that bearing there, which was on, my understanding is on the first, third and fifth shaft. It's a bit of a pain in the backside because you have to get that shaft out and that shaft out for the second, third, second, fourth and sixth with the reverse gear shaft and the sort of main input shaft, is my understanding, if that's what it's called, is the technical word for it. First time, apart from stripping a Vauxhall gearboxes, yeah, the first time I've done it really. So, and had a good play and a bit of an understanding. So replaced that bearing, cost me 36 bloody quid for a new bearing, happy days. And it only fit similar to like these ones. So I've got it over here somewhere actually. Well, I've got what's left of it anyway. And yeah, pretty simple as bearings come. Throwing the camera around here, and I am. But yeah, you've got the standard race that was in the box. I actually found this number, EC41249, and that is in the casing, and then that's the bit that goes on to the end of the shaft. Same with any sort of wheel bearing. Got the old grinder out and split the bearing, and it obviously frees it up a little bit so you can get it off. So change that out, and I put it all back together. Some videos that you see online, they two people, they'll come up with two sets of hands obviously, and sort of mesh it all together a little bit and go from there. So yeah, it's all back in. It's a bit odd to sort of spin. Is it in park lock? I've been playing with, this is the park lock scenario. So basically on the diff, you can just about see those teeth in there, and basically when you put it into park lock, I think, is that in park? Yeah, that's in. Is that in park? No, that's okay though. I use two hands to move it, or you can push it into park there. That should lock up now. Yeah, that's locked in now. Yeah, so I'll take it out to park. One little interesting thing I have done, or found out, I watched a video online. I'll see if I can show you this. So basically, for the shifters here, the shift forks, let's call them shift forks. Obviously, they just sort of move up and down on the synchro gears. It's hard to do it without two pairs of hands. Yeah, I can't do it. I need two pairs of hands. What you've got here is this like little manifoldy type bit here, sorry, and the camera. And if you blow, you've got these two channels for each one. So you've got a channel here going in, assuming that goes into down into this one, and then you've got this channel here that goes into this one. And basically, just to test, you've got no blockages or anything. See if this will work. I might have to block it up. Move it around a little bit. Can I do it? Can I do it? Nope. It does work. There you go. You just have to find the where the little hole is for it. Yeah, that's that one. And then the same for this one. You've got this channel here and this channel here. Where's the little hole? Nope. Nope. And it's spewing gearbox oil everywhere. Nope. I can get it to do it. Yeah, let's not do it on them ones. What I was doing is obviously trying to cover the hole as well. So yeah. So like I say, no massive issues with the gearbox. I've manually selected all the shift, all the gears. Everything seems okay. I've had a good check of all the bearings, diff bearings. Obviously replaced that one down there. There's only one other one down there. All the gears look okay. There is some like markings on them, but I was speaking to Mr. Chisholm Brown, and we think that some of these are obviously from factory. Yeah, so I've got to put the oil manifold on again, I think they call that. Manifold back on, and then I could put the casing back on. Obviously you've got to have a bit of seal around it. So this is the other part of the casing. You've got like a filter of type in there. Don't think I'm going to bother cleaning it out, to be honest. We'll leave it, and then obviously the shifter forks go into those holes, and yeah, we'll bolt it back together. Happy days. Just thought I would show you the clutch situation in physical form. So what we've got is what they call K1 and K2. K1 being the bigger one, but K2 being the smaller one, obviously. So this is an uprated clutch pack, and from my memory, if it serves me right, you just get more plates basically. And yeah, I'm going to put a data log on in a bit of the fuel tech from the 9.9 run that I did, which perfectly explains why I've been getting clutch slip, and I feel like I've learned a load with it already. And I'm going to tell you guys. So yeah, nothing to hide here. It is what it is, and hopefully we can make use of this DSG gearbox. I mean, in hindsight, yes, I would love to have put a dog box or a sequential box in it, but for the 12 grand it's going to cost, I've done this for half the price. So yeah, but looking at these clutches, we'll move on slowly first, fastly from that, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, so just pick this one up as an example. She's a bit toasty. That's a bit of cigar there, but the funny thing is when you twist it on the side, can you see that? She's like a dish. I mean, a bit of soup in there. And the interesting thing was, so what you've got here is the clutch basket, and obviously all these, that's one of the filler plugs. So all these fit in like so. I think it starts with that one on that end, blah blah blah, 1 and 2. You just have to line them up as they go in. What made me laugh was when I took the circlip out, this one, the whole thing just pinged at me, and I was like, what the hell is this? Obviously before it's just a flat plate and you just put them in one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other, and there's no issues. But yeah, it shot out at me. But fingers crossed, we're in a much better place. We've learned a little bit. Very labour intensive and graft intensive, but hey, it's all good fun. So this is the log from the 9.9 run that I did last weekend. If you remember looking back at the previous video, I put the time slip up, and I think Mr. Stevenson, when he was in the tower, said that I was at like 120 at the 8th or something like that. And I actually went over the line at 121.87 or something along those lines. So the whole situation with the gearbox at the moment is, as I said earlier on, that the clutches have been slipping. This is obvious proof, thanks to Leonardo at Fuel Tech, who ran through the logs for me, and we had a quick chat, and it's so obvious that you can't unsee it. So let's have a look at it. So looking at the graph, well, the log, whatever we call it, we've got RPM at the top, map, gear. Here we've got front wheel speed, and then I've got axle speed, which is something I learned last weekend from Gordon at Street Races. Thanks again. And basically, the FuelTech ECU's got an accelerometer in. Now, I'm presuming most ECUs have, I don't know. And you can use that as a speed reference. So as long as you've got front wheel speed, you can use that as opposed to having rear wheel speed, just to determine the difference between the two. So that's that. We've got, I think, wheel speed is in blue and axle speed is in red. And at the bottom, we've got TCU torque, which is off the torque table that we have to set in the FuelTech. So one thing to look at, first of all, is look at the blue line at the top and look at the black line at the bottom. Now, I only clocked this after I'd looked at it a few times. Is that not far off? Not far off, not exact. Is it a mirror image of itself? I think it is. It's really not far off. So look at the points where you get highs, say like up here on this one. We're also getting a low down here, pretty much across the straight line. So what we're saying is basically is axle speed and front wheel speed pretty consistent all the way along the run. RPM is all over the place on the run, and TCU torque send, which is how much basically we're telling the gearbox to lock the clutches up, is also sort of up and down. Now, obviously, we've set this a couple of times, but we don't know a definitive way to do it. We're very much learning with it, and ultimately, this is why we're here now. So, if we look at are we still in launch there? I always reference, like I said the last time, by looking at the two-step. So is the two-step on? No, not there. It's on there. So we launch it, and the RPM goes up, if you look. But the way I've got the torque table set, if you watch the RPM, watch the torque, TCU torque send at the bottom, the torque send goes down. So basically we're telling the gearbox to release the clutches a little bit, which is obviously shooting the RPM up. If you're also looking at the same time at the wheel speed reference, it's not changing. It's very, very consistent. If I can pull it up here. Obviously, we always get a slight variation. So, like I say, let's go back a little bit and watch the RPM start to climb. Yeah, pretty much starts to climb there. We are moving now. Obviously, it's a little bit out to start with, but as the for that split second, the torque's dropped off and the revs have shot up, and then it stabilizes itself a little bit. And then we get to this point where if you look at TCU torque send at the bottom, at that point, the settings that we've got in it are reducing the torque at that specific point based on map versus RPM. So watch it dropping off. Wheel speed, very, very accurate, 12.9 to 12.9. And yeah, the RPM starts all over the place. Now, what this is causing is first gear seems really, it's supposed to be short, but it's long because we've got the set points in the FuelTech, and the FuelTech saying, well, hang on, I've seen 6.8, then I've seen 6.5, 6.6, 6.8, 6.6, 6.8, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, do you want me to change or not? So eventually it does change when it stabilizes itself up to second gear. But second gear is what I've just shown you earlier on. I'll see what point I put this in the video, but basically what it is, you've got K1, which is your bigger clutch, and K2, which is your smaller clutch. Now, second gear is on the K2, so 2, 4, and 6, I believe, are on the K2 clutch. And basically, we're slipping the clutch like mad here. So we've got a little bit more clamping force, but again, as it's changing gear, the settings that I've got in there are reducing the torque. And if you look, the RPM goes up, so we're slipping the clutch straight away. Now, second gear, I'd got it set to change at 7,200 revs. So as soon as that's there now, 7,200, it automatically says, right, I need to change based on what I'm telling. Now, this isn't the gearbox doing its own thing. This is me telling it to change in the fuel tech. So the gearbox is saying, right, you're telling me to change, I'm off again. So it changes. Albeit a second gear short shift for myself isn't bad, because it kind of works quite well to get me out of first and second, because obviously third, fourth, fifth I can really put the power in. But again, it drops a little bit, and then as we stabilize the TCU torque send, if you look there, we're up to 80% of torque send. Then we drop down to 78, 79, and you see a slight fluctuation in the RPM. Then again, we're dropping a little bit down to 73. The RPM's gone up. And then all of a sudden it stabilizes itself. This is all based on the settings that I put in the TCU. As the torque goes up, we're up to 82 now. And then we get this natural sort of line now, which is what I'd normally see when it was a manual. You know, no RPM variations. It would be change gear, drop in RPM, then it would be up and off again. And then as the torque send stabilizes, which is this nice flat line we've got here, it sorts itself out. So ultimately, yeah, the data's there to show that I've been slipping the clutch. So yeah. Going to have a look at the torque table, talking to Sam Chisholm Brown, who has sent me some data that he's used before. He's on a fuel tech as well. And looking at his log, his torque is very stable due to the table he's got in there. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. So, spin this round. I've just wound the box down as you just saw. What it is, you've got this for the, that's the main, it's the main shaft, isn't it? And it goes into a bearing at the top there. When I took it off, you have to kind of, tap it a little bit to get it to come off, like sort of things. It's quite a tight fit in there. So as long as, from what I can see, you wind it down evenly. Like you're saying, there's no cracking noises or anything. I'm hoping that's right. I don't really know, but we'll soon find out. So yeah, chuck the rest of the bolts in now and spin her over and see if it moves. So box is all back together. Just spin the camera. We're all good. I have tried turning it over a little bit as well, and it does seem a little bit tight. Hopefully nothing too dramatic, but I'm assuming it's like half in gear, half out of gear, because I didn't really, obviously when you got the selectors, I just don't know, I just left it to it sort of things. Hopefully that'll be okay. I'm sure we'll find out otherwise. So the plan will be, obviously get it in the car. I'll crank the engine a little bit first because it's got an oil pump drive that runs straight through the centre of the main shaft and goes into the oil pump in the back, which is there. That'll get some oil pressure up, and when it starts, it will click straight into park, I suppose, then first, and then I'll run it through the gears. So next job on my list is to get this gearbox, and this was a scrap gearbox that I bought. I bought 3 for 50 quid each. However, I took the oil pump casing off earlier just to have a quick look in there, because I was a bit unsure regarding one of the circlips, and yeah, this is what came. Yeah, so pretty much I'd say that box is fucked, but I'm quite chuffed that I didn't just slap it straight in, sort of thing. Feels like on the main shaft, input shaft, output shaft, input shaft. Not really up with gearboxes, to be honest. This is all a massive learning curve, and I'm kind of enjoying it. Yeah, you can feel quite a bit of end float, so I would say that bearing's mashed, and yeah, it's caused a bit of swarf. But I mean, looking at this, you can buy a bearing kit for 250 quid, something like that, for all the bearings, and as long as there's no scoring or damage to the gears or anything, it doesn't look like an horrendous job. For someone who's built engines but never built a gearbox or even stripped a gearbox apart from an F23, but like that's nothing. You don't have to do anything. You just lift the casing off and unbolt the diff and bolt the new one in. But yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I mentioned before that in the previous video, one of the issues that we've had from day one is that I've had no ignition cut on gear changes. We've had 2 or 3 people have a look at the map, and no one really seems to know why it's doing it. So I don't know if this Mechatronics is any good, but we're going to try it, and I'm going to unbolt it from this one. Am I zoomed in? Yeah, I'm zoomed in. We're going to unbolt it and bolt it into that one. The old one is down here. Yeah, I mean, these Mechatronics, that's the brains, that's everything in there. And yeah, you've got a speed sensor as well, and then as you push it in, you've got this bit of a shafty type thing that fits into the box. And yeah, that, my understanding is, this is the main problem with DSG gearboxes. And I don't know the state or healthiness of this one, but what we have got is a new map for it from the base file that was pulled off, because when I bought this gearbox, it had already got a map on it. And again, with these maps in this VAG world, stage 1, stage 2, to stage 27 million, all the stages, we don't know what's going on with it or what's been changed. If anyone's used the WinOL software, I mean, I've tried to get to grips with it a little bit, but it's a minefield, and for what usage I'm going to have of it, yeah, I've got people hopefully who can help me out. So yeah, so let's unbolt. I'm pointing. Let's unbolt the Mechatronics on that one. Have a quick look round. Maybe give it a quick clean over and get it into my gearbox. So this Mechatronic is what they call an AD, so I'll have to do some Googling and find out what that's actually supposedly out of, because I don't know what the situation is. Again, it's just a load of blocks and pressure sensors to me. I don't know what's what. The old one is, I believe, an AE. You can see that. Is it on there somewhere? Just, you can't really see it. It's in there. You can just about see it now. AE. So yeah, I'm going to bolt it up, and then I'm probably going to just go and have a bit of a Google and see what's what. So that's that. Boxes back together. I'm just waiting on the new clutch pack to come now, and then I will do the measuring and go from there. So basically what we have to do is, so you've got, this is your clutch basket for anyone who hasn't seen one before. Obviously empty box, that's got some seals on in there. That's your basket that slides over and in. Then that sits in the middle, as like, I don't know, for the K2, and then you basically fit all your clutches in like so. It's a lot easier if, and obviously you stack one on top of the other, but obviously I say when you're doing that, you put in a friction plate, and then what I class as like an iron disc is my understanding. Put all them in, so for the K2 and for the K1, and then basically you've got this sort of top hat that goes on. Just had a bit of a play with it, trying to get it to go on. Yeah, that fits in. And then basically what we have to do then is when it's upside down, there's a little tool that you buy, and the little tool just lifts the clutches up a little bit, and you check the sort of preload or end float on the end of the shaft, and it yeah, gives you a reading. And then basically what it is, there's a set of shims that you buy, and depending on the measurements that you get depends on the shim that you use, and go from there. And then as soon as that's done, we go, yeah, put it back on again. If it'll go on, that's on. Then the outer cover has to go on. I'm doing this all by hand, like that. Then you've got a specific circlip that goes in again. There's 3 different sizes. And then once that's done, this is going to be interesting because I bought this new last time. You got your end cover, as they call it, but obviously that's got a seal on, like a crank seal, where it obviously flips. So, and then basically once that's on, you get another big circlip and hold it in like that. Yeah, I think I'm sure I kept that sleeve as it was to put that that end basket, or I can't remember what they bloody call it now, end cover on, to save me buying another, because these are like 30 odd quid, 40 quid, something like that. Might be a bit cheaper. But yeah, so at this moment in time, I'll sign this one off. I will do the measuring when the new clutch comes. I'm going to spin it round. I'll do the measuring when the new clutch comes, and then it's a matter of hee-ho, back on the floor, hee-ho, back in the car, start the car, run it up on idle, make sure I've got all the correct pressures, run it up to temperature, run it through the gears, and fingers crossed it'll work. But I am optimistic because this is me, and I've never stripped one of these before. It's all learning. So again, keep your fingers crossed for me. I'll sign this one off. Speak to you soon.